However, she didn't keep her word. She opened the door to an old woman. She gave Snow White an apple with poison on it. Snow White ate it. When the 7 little men came home, they found her dead. They were very sad and so they cried. A tall and handsome man rode his horse and stopped by their house. He found Snow White and fell in love with her. He kissed her and she came back to life. He married her and they lived happily ever after. There are 30 questions and answers on the above story with very easy words for kids aged from 5 to 7-year-old to understand. 1. Who didn't keep her word? We don't know who she is from this sentence. We need more information. 2. What did she do to break her promise? We don't know what the promise was from this sentence. We need more information. 3. Who did she open the door to? She opened the door to an old woman. 4. What did the old woman give Snow White? The old woman gave Snow White an apple with poison on it. 5. Did Snow White eat the apple? Yes, Snow White ate the apple. 6. What did the 7 little men find when they came home? They found Snow White dead. 7. How did the 7 little men feel when they found Snow White dead? They were very sad. 8. What did the 7 little men do when they found Snow White dead? They cried. 9. Who rode his horse and stopped by their house? A tall and handsome man rode his horse and stopped by their house. 10. What did the tall and handsome man find? He found Snow White. 11. What did the tall and handsome man do when he found Snow White? He kissed her. 12. What happened when the tall and handsome man kissed Snow White? Snow White came back to life. 13. Did the tall and handsome man marry Snow White? Yes, he married her. 14. Did Snow White live happily ever after? Yes, she lived happily ever after. 15. How many questions have we answered so far? We have answered 14 questions so far. 16. How many more questions do we have left? We have 16 more questions left. 17. Who is the main character of this story? Snow White is the main character of this story. 18. Who gave Snow White the poisoned apple? The old woman gave Snow White the poisoned apple. 19. What happened to Snow White after she ate the poisoned apple? Snow White died. 20. Who found Snow White dead? The 7 little men found Snow White dead. 21. How did the 7 little men feel when they found Snow White dead? They were very sad. 22. What did the 7 little men do when they found Snow White dead? They cried. 23. Who saved Snow White? The tall and handsome man saved Snow White. 24. How did the tall and handsome man save Snow White? He kissed her. 25. What happened after the tall and handsome man kissed Snow White? Snow White came back to life. 26. Who did Snow White marry? Snow White married the tall and handsome man. 27. Did Snow White live happily ever after? Yes, she lived happily ever after. 28. What did the old woman give Snow White? The old woman gave Snow White an apple with poison on it. 29. Who opened the door to the old woman? We don't know who opened the door to the old woman from this sentence. We need more information. 30. Was the story a happy ending? Yes, the story had a happy ending.